Good morning and welcome everyone to our second Total CRM Bite session, our monthly webinars where we take you through some updates or interesting features in Dynamics or some of our other partner products that we use as well. Today we'll be covering document and email templates in Dynamics and how they can help streamline your business and help reduce some of the repetitive load on your users. All right, so let's jump right into it. So there are a few different types of templates that we can use in Dynamics. And the first type of template we're going to go through is some Word templates. So let's just go through to our opportunities. And I'm going to pull open just this one here, 6 orders of product. Now, what you'll notice is depending on your screen size, it may vary where it displays in the ribbon. So you'll see, because I have a smaller screen here, Word templates aren't displaying in the ribbon by default. If you can't see it there, it's going to be within the 3 dots. So if I select the 3 dots and then Word templates here, and I'm going to download the opportunity summary. So this one that I'm pulling up now is an out-of-the-box template that Microsoft have. And you'll see that it does capture a nice bit of information around some product data that we've got in against the opportunity and who we're working with. But it is fairly basic in terms of the display and what we're presenting, and may not be as beneficial to your business depending on what they're displaying here. So what you'll see as well is that this is dynamic content that we have being generated. So it's put in Fabricam Inc., which is the company we're working with. It's put in the quantity of some of the products that we're selling and done some totaling. So it is a very basic quote template that we could use in CRM. So this is an out of the box one. Nothing's been done to this one. And as you can see, it does capture a good bit of data, but not a huge amount or anything that could be specific to your business. So we'll just close down out of that. So that was an out of the box example. We also have, I'm just going to go across to one of my contacts, one I prepared earlier, Patrick Sands. And again, you'll notice that it's going to be hidden under the 3 dots for me. So remembering 3 dots anywhere in the system means that there's some more options available here. So as I click that, I'm now going to open a contact template document. So this is a slightly modified one that we've done as an example here. And you can see it's a bit more personalized to the business. And we're using this example pretty much as an introduction to the client. And so you can see we're really just capturing the basic information. We've got our logo up the top. We've customized the company's contact information as well as the contact who we're working with, Patrick Sands information here. You can have an auto updating date for when it's being generated, and we've also got Dear Patrick, and then whatever text you want to display here, and then sort of wrapped off with the Total CRM, our company icon there. So this is an example where we've gone a little custom. It's nothing crazy, but a quite basic example of, with a little bit of work, what you can then do to start presenting. Now, our last example here is a full custom quoting template that we did for one of our customers. So we've stripped out some of the identifying information here, but what you can see is we're starting to capture a whole heap of information. And as you saw on the out of the box opportunity template that we started with, we had each line item and then some pretty basic information around the cost. Whereas in this one, we've actually put in the product images. We've brought across some stock code, some prices, and some more descriptive fields on our line item. And then we've also really personalized the quote details. So we can see that the company name, this is us. And then we've got the bill to, and we've got some details around what the quote number is, when it was created, and some valid dates. So the customer we built this for, this is their main quoting model that they use now. So they handle all their quoting of this part of their business directly in Dynamics based off a Word template. Now, another thing that you can do, once we have this Word template that's been generated, you can then actually, if you do a save as, and I'm just gonna put it on my desktop, you can actually select it as a PDF. So once you're happy with the content that's in the Word template, you could then save it as a PDF. And then this is a full quoting document that you can then send out to the customer. They can't modify it, and it presents a lot nicer in the PDF as well when compared to potentially the Word document. Now, again, that may vary depending on your business, whether you want to convert it to a PDF or keep it as a Word document. But there's a bit of flexibility around that, and as you saw, it is very easy to do. And again, this is just an example. It may vary a little bit depending on your business type and what sort of communications you're having with the customer and what details you're sending out. But as I mentioned at the start, this is really about reducing some of the repetitive load where people may be continuously generating the same documents, but it's quite hands-on. In this scenario, you can have it really automatically update. As you see, it's all dynamic content. So each of these line items are the line items that are listed on the quote that the customer has. All right, so we'll just close those down. All right, so that's the quick run through on Word templates. The next template we're going to have a look at are some Excel templates. So this time, rather than going into an individual record where you saw, before we went into the 6 orders of the product and we had a look at Patrick Sands, all individual records, for Excel templates, you use those within views. And this is more around some reporting that we can do. And I know a lot of companies really like working in Excel because it's something that they've done with over the years and they're quite comfortable with. What you can do is you'll see, rather than Word templates here in the view, we have the Excel template. So I'm going to click the drop down and I'm going to select our pipeline management template. And for the Excel templates, we actually have 2 different options. So we have opening Excel online, or we have download pipeline management. So if we download the Excel template, it's going to be in your Excel application rather than directly in Dynamics. And what you'll see is this is actually downloaded and we have it set as a pivot table. So what we can do is this is all reporting based off the data that we had in our view. So you'll see that it all correlates here, and we have all that data there. What we can do is that we can also apply all different filters here to really get some drill down information of our Excel data. So if we wanted to, oops, I got to enable editing. That's what I got to do. And that looks much nicer straight away, actually. And what you'll see is it's even generated some nice little formatting here in our expected revenue column. And this goes off this sort of little bar that we have actually works off our estimated revenue and the probability that we have. So you'll see that this option here, six orders of product that we're having a look at earlier. The estimated revenue is 2276. At 90% probability gives us an expected revenue of 2048. Much like Excel and the standard Excel function, you could potentially sort this and have a look and sort of by smallest expected revenue to largest or vice versa. And as I was mentioning before, we can also modify these reports up here. So at the moment, we have quite a big range on our opportunities that we have listed. Let's say I'm going to put a date filter on this because I don't want to look at opportunities that are old. I want to have a look at opportunities between, let's say, or sorry, we may even look a little bit further back. Let's actually have a look at this financial year. So we'll do 1st of July through today's date. And you'll see that now it's drilled down a little bit further and we actually have 2 displaying here rather than the 5. So again, what makes sense for you guys may vary to what this is here, but this report here, this Excel template, is fully out of the box. So this is the out of the box one, much like the out of the box opportunity word template that we showed initially. So this is here, and again, if you want to modify that, or you want some help modifying that can definitely be done. This is just the out of the box standard one that Microsoft gives you. You can make any changes or modifications that you want to either suit your needs or make it a bit more suitable to your company. Now, the other option that we had is the Open in Excel Online. So this option, it actually opens in a pop-up box here. So rather than having to download it, it will display directly in Dynamics. And you will notice that I find it a little bit more difficult to see in this one than in the downloading to Excel. But again, this can just be a bit of personal preference. And personally, I prefer downloading to Excel when I'm wanting to view, because you do get a bit more on the screen, but there is the capacity to view from here. Now, one other feature that I wanted to touch on just around the templates and the modifying also ties into our export to Excel functionality. So if I click the drop down here and do Open in Excel Online, again, we're going to pop up in a similar box like we had on our Excel template. But what this allows us to do is this actually allows us to edit the data as if we're in Excel, and it will then be updated in our CRM directly from here. So again, we're going to use our 6 orders of product SKU. And I might say, no, the probability is not going to be 90. It's actually 70 now. So I've updated that, and I'm now going to save this here. And what this is going to do is go and update the data, and you'll see that it's been submitted for import. And in a minute, it will just take a second because it is processing and doing the data import. There we go. Now it's updated, so we've got it to 70%. So again, this can be really helpful for people who prefer working in Excel. And rather than doing a full export and then a full re-import, you can do the edit in Excel Online, and it can make it a lot easier. And that's a potential alternative to then setting this opportunity grid as an editable grid. So that's a quick look at some Excel templates. Now, the last type of template we want to show you today is some email templates. So again, I'm going to go back to our friend Patrick Sands. And from the timeline, I'm going to create a new email. And as that loads up for me, and again, this actually may be a little bit different to some of you who haven't been creating emails in Dynamics like this recently. They've actually created this new compose box. So rather than having to fully open up the email in the timeline to then edit it and send it, it will actually create this compose box here where you can send it directly from the contacts record. So you'll see that, so I'm logged in as CRM admin, so it's filled in a few fields by default for us. And I've also got my signature in here by default too. So So again, I'll show you how we can do that in Dynamics. But the key thing that I'm really wanting to show you is from within this email, you'll see that we have an insert template button in the ribbon here. So if I select insert template, this is going to give us a list of created templates that we have with dynamic email data. So I'm going to select this contact reconnect one, and you'll see that it's inserted our friend Patrick Sands' name here. So we have Dear Patrick Sands sample, which is his name. And then we have some base text that we've got filled in. And we also have listed, we've asked CRM admin, which is my login and the owner of this record, CRM admin, which we can see in the top right, to contact you next week to get feedback on the products you're currently using. So we can apply that template and we'll just tidy up a few lines. And there we go. That email is good to go. Again, removing that repetitive and something that management can use to really help the sales staff or whoever it might be in the company to set up these templates. And it really is just a click. It does all the merge fields for you. Like we said, we have the insert of our contact's name and also our user's name, the owner of the record. And now all I would have to do is press send, and that's going off to Patrick. So again, that's a really good one to just help speed up the process, especially on some of those repetitive tasks, to really help out your staff and reduce that continuous entry that could be being done. All right, I'm just going to close out of that. Now, great, I've shown you all of the templates, but how do we get to the template area and the customization area? So what we have to do is go to the top right-hand corner and select the cog and then advanced settings. There we go. So we've loaded up there. So now that we've gone to the advanced settings, we have to click the drop down next to settings and then template. So for us, it's on the left here. It'll be somewhere in this list. It may just not be exactly in that same spot. So we've clicked that. And here is where you actually manage all of the things that I've shown you today. So you can see we have our email templates here. We have our document templates. So that's for both our Word and Excel templates that we have. Then we also have our email signatures, which is what I showed before. So I'll quickly just go through this. And what you can do is on a per user basis, you can set a default signature, much like in Outlook or Office 365. You can set the default, and that's why you would have seen on my email template that we put in, by default, this came up for us. And now you can have multiple. So let's say you have a different template, or sorry, a different signature for Christmas. You could also then overwrite that as well. But that's where we can pop in our email signatures. And then that way, rather than just having to copy and paste every time from your Outlook, you can do it directly from CRM and have that signature built in. Email templates, fairly straightforward. If you were to create a new one, you could either have it as a global, or you could specify which entity it's on. So I might say that it's going to be a contact email template, and click OK. And then what we do here is then type in the title, what the subject would be, some description, and then you would fill in the body. You can insert the custom merge fields that we spoke about around putting in the contact's name. And then you just save that, and then that's going to be available as well for selection. And then finally, back on the document templates, again, we get a list here. You'll see that there's quite a few out-of-the-box ones that Microsoft have given you for various parts of the system. To create a new one, you would press new here. And the reason we have to press new from here is this then allows us to insert the dynamic content. And then again, from here, you can select whether it's going to be an Excel template or a Word template. I'm just going to pick Word template, just an example. Then you would say, I want it to be for the account. If you wanted to reference some other details, and there's actually some data that you're wanting to roll up, not only from account, you would press select entity. And then let's say maybe I want to have a look at the parent account as well. So I want to merge in some fields from the parent account. Then from there, you can download the template. And much like the others, you start filling in some of the content that you're wanting to put in. In the developer tab with the XML mapping pane, if you go to the Earn Microsoft CRM one, this is where you can start inserting some of the custom fields that we're talking about with the merge data. And again, this end part's a little bit technical, so, and I've probably gone a bit fast, but we can definitely go through in a bit more detail with you if you're interested in wanting to put some of these in place. But yeah, that's a quick rundown on how we can put some of these into the system. But that's about it for today's session. So as you can see, there are really endless possibilities when it comes to using the templates, particularly around the dynamic content. And they can really help assist with the internal processes in your company and helping, like we said, it can even be anything, even up to your quoting system.